It has been a sloppy day in northern Idaho, and I mean sloppy because we got our first snow down in the valleys where I live because it's been snowing up high in the mountains, which is beautiful. And then it turned to rain down here, which is pretty typical this time of year. It's a sloppy mess. I've got my bog boots on, and and so it begins. But it is also a very reflective day for me, and I feel inspired to share some insights. And it's about how I made some dramatic choices to simplify my life, major simplification, and how I live. And it has been the best thing I ever did. And as I share about it, I'm going to share some insights of what I learned today reflecting on it. At the end of this video, I'm going to also put in something I created last winter, just a moment with the snow falling and a moment for you to really tune with your heart. So please stay tuned for that at the very end. I'm going to add it in. Today reminded me of it. So really making huge shifts in my life. During 2020, my body actually stopped me. Like I hit a brick wall, not literally, but figuratively. I had owned a business and was working so hard to kind of save the business during those times and really put myself last. And I ended up putting myself in the hospital. And I remember laying there in the bed and being like, I am not listening to my heart. I'm not listening and I'm not following. I knew then it was time to make these changes. Otherwise, I wasn't going to be on this planet much longer. So earlier in the year, while we were closed down during that period, my coping mechanism was binge watching things like tiny house living and van lifers. And gosh, obviously I crave simplicity and freedom. And I was anchoring it in with really watching these videos and imagining, oh my gosh, what would that feel like? What would it be like if I lived in a tiny house and just really simple, just what I need? I know of myself, I don't need a lot. I could definitely indulge in things and go travel, but I don't need it. So knowing that of myself, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So before I ended up in the hospital, then I was verbally talking to people about it and getting some feedback and ideas. I had some other friends that lived in tiny houses, and so I would explore. And eventually it came to a place that someone suggested I get a fifth wheel. So I did. I got a fifth wheel that felt really good for me, and I brought it up to some land, family property, and I've been living in the trees for almost a little under 2 years now. I took out all the furniture that was inside and made it mine. And I got to say, over these last 2 years, it's been quite a process of unwinding, selling things I don't need, and just really keep refining what is really true, and what's, do I need to keep things or do I let it go? It's been a beautiful shift, and I just wanted to share because I know some people going through simplifications, refining in their lives, and I know at first it can feel really awkward and almost like you're giving up too much. I know I went through that at first. And as I sit now, I'm like, I am so deeply grateful for how everything landed. And a term that was said to me during those times was, I was a teacher. I was doing some classes, believe it or not, through all that. And one of the terms said to me was, the present is pre-sent. And I love that. Because today I was reflecting on the fact that I was binge watching, van lifers and tiny home living. And I have nearly created that whole scenario, living in this tiny space. And it's been so much joy. And the next one is still traveling in the van. My first priority, of course, was my heart and my body and getting back in alignment. So as I was looking at that today and walking around in the slop today, getting things done, I was really recognizing how good I feel in my body. I've been really intending and taking, doing a lot of self-care. Like today I sat in an infrared sauna for a while and took a nice shower. That's been incredibly healing. And as I was walking around in the slop, I realized, oh, this goes back even to that pre-send. How did I pre-send this into my body? So I realized I was actually spending time this week, multiple times, remembering how I felt years ago when I was really active with kettlebells and yoga, and the strongest I've ever felt. And I could feel it in my body, like the muscle memory. My body remembers it. And so I've been really tuning into that with my heart, like feeling it in my heart, what that was like, because I already experienced it. And now, today, feeling a big dramatic difference in my body. It was recognized by my mother. And as I was sharing this insight today, I was like, I want to share this. And maybe this is helpful for you. Is take some time and really feel in to a desired state, right? And feel it as though it's now. You probably hear this from other people. I love listening to people like Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, so many people that I just really admire. And this is the common theme. Feel it as if it is now. Being in this creative energy, right? Feel it now. And I realized, wow, this was a big shift for me today. I've been really in contemplation and reflection around all this today, and I feel so excited to share this. So if you make the choice to simplify, I chose to live in a fifth wheel for a while until I'm ready for my next step. The freedom of it is amazing. I'm also creating, what is my next step that I want to do and create and flow in my life. And I'm really letting it happen. What really inspires me? Like even doing these videos, this definitely was some inspiration. Because I couldn't bet anything on it a couple years ago that I would be doing a YouTube channel. And it's been amazing. It's been so good for my heart. And I hope some of this is helpful for you, whoever listens. So here I'm going to bring in this attunement that I recorded last winter with some beautiful snow. So please enjoy and have a beautiful evening or morning whenever you watch this. And sending so much love through the field to your heart, from my heart to your heart. When you watch it, feel that. When you're watching, thank you. All right, bye for now and enjoy this next clip. Take a moment and put your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath in, counting to 4, and exhaling, counting to 5. And with your hand on your heart, bring in anything you're grateful for. Feel the gratitude, whether it's for your breath today, maybe a furry creature, any loved one, or nature. Bring in this deep gratitude and feel that in your heart. Breathe as if your heart is breathing for you, expanding your belly as you inhale and exhale. Now with this spark in your heart, let's inhale with great gratitude and exhale gratitude to all your loved ones, heart to heart to heart. And just sit and continue to breathe in this gratitude, receiving and giving with great gratitude.